So, so good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, March 28th, and I was caught off guard that we are in the holiday week of Easter. So I was busy all day today with meetings, but thanks to Mike Tambasco to reminding me that today is Holy Thursday and tomorrow's Good Friday. Easter is this weekend. You could tell I'm not a good Catholic. So we're trying to do our Friday night video, our Friday night update on on Thursday today. So throwing this together, we have two guests with us. Isidro, who was a New York City retiree, and he used to be a teacher. His last union was the United Federation of Teachers. And we also have Celso, who is his son. You may have seen Celso on our page. He is an active transit worker, so he's a retiree in training, and he's also helping the transit retirees. So welcome, gentlemen.
Hello.
So one of the
Oh, how
great
you doing?
things that we've been talking about, you and I, Celso, is you actually help take care of your dad and teach your dad how to use technology. We know we were trying to get this off the ground for 8 o'clock, and you had a little bit of a struggle getting your dad to use Zoom. This is what, the day 2 of your dad using Zoom?
Yeah. He's gonna get used to it eventually. It wasn't around when he was a kid. Like I remember him typing out the using a typewriter to type out the papers that he had to hand in for his college when he was getting his bachelor's when I was a kid, and he was
Right.
using a typewriter to type them out, and he would be getting frustrated, and I didn't understand his frustration because it was a new technology at the time, and
Right.
now we have computers, and so it's a whole different world than what it
Yes, it
was it
is.
was years ago.
Yeah. So Isidro, you were a teacher at the UFT. What did you teach?
I used to teach mostly special ed and Spanish.
Oh, very good. And what schools were you teaching in?
Different school, Roosevelt High School, Wharton High School, and many other schools in the Bronx, usually in the Bronx.
Very good. And so you're part of this our group actually because you're a New York City retiree. UFT was your last union. And so you wanted to make sure that we got to protect your traditional Medicare and not you not be forced into Medicare Advantage, right?
Right.
So, and your son is in a very similar situation. Actually, he's a little worse off, but the transit retirees
That works.
rolled. Well, you just got to work a little harder with those transit union.
And he
But
can afford a lot of more benefits than we would ever get, no matter how many hours we work.
oh, so his
It's not.
city benefits are different than yours?
Yes, they are. He has his pension is a lot better than the pension we have, and the I would have to. Mine's is capped. His in service, he could get credit. He used to be um uh, uh he used to work in the hospital for 10 years for the city. Also on top of that, and he was able to get service credit for his pension and
Okay.
get credit towards his pension, get a
Oh, that's
a,
great.
a bump on it because of that. And then uh like Medicare Advantage now is being offered, and I feel like next they're gonna go after the active members benefits, which will probably be a lot less than what he used to get when he was an active member. Um,
Right.
uh, that's the issue that we're having. That uh, it's it, it's not a good thing to take away uh, disadvantaged people or people that are elderly that they have their struggles, especially with technology, and for you to just take that away from them. And he didn't even know uh, that you guys won the case, that's the reason why he was able to keep his benefits. He assumed that it was just a union that fought for him and kept his benefits for him, and he didn't believe that the union that he was a part of would give in his medical benefits that easily, sell him out. He didn't believe me. I had to tell him a few times and explain it to him, show him articles and show him your videos. And then he came around and said, "Wow!" So it was a lawsuit. It wasn't because they were trying to, it wasn't the good old union that I used to know. He said,
So at first he thought it was the UFT that was protecting him.
"Yeah, exactly. That's what he assumed because he's been retired already for how long? You been retired? 15 years already?
Yeah, 10 years, no, 10.
10
10. Oh,
years.
10 years. Exactly. 10 years. Time flies, 10 years retired already.
So in speaking of that vulnerable population of which your dad is part of, you as his son, what was that like for you, noticing that here you are younger, you're still active, you're in another agency, you're kind of quasi paying attention to this because this is somewhat happening on your side, but seeing the struggle of what your dad had to go through just to you to figure out what he was going through and then educate him.
It's a difficult process because I was even confused about it. And then I never had heard of the privatization of Medicare. And then I started to look into it and I started to do searches on Google, and they were right there. And I'm like, why I never paid attention to this? And I figure at my age, I wouldn't be looking into Medicare. I wouldn't care about Medicare because it didn't affect me, or it
Right.
didn't affect my children, or my household. So I said, why would I look into it? But then once I saw the contract proposal from the transit workers union, I said there was something kind of fishy about it. So I started to dig in, and then I started to ask my parents what insurance you have, and all this other stuff. And then I started to try to help them with their insurance. But I didn't realize that it was so complicated and so complex. It was extremely difficult to navigate this. Like I said before, I used to be a teacher too. I was a teacher for 5 years in the system, and I ended up getting separated from the DOE bureaucracy, and also you can't be an idealist and try to do the right thing. They don't like that.
I know.
Right system in the bureaucracy. They just want you to go along and get along with everyone and get along. And even if you see bad things, you're supposed to just look the other way and just want to keep your job as opposed to doing the right thing. So I had my struggles there, and I had my struggles here at Transit too. And only my dad knew, but he had similar struggles too. But the only difference was that in those days, the union defended him and protected him from facing serious repercussions. The and that's why it's shocking for us, being a former UFT member and now a transit worker, that all the unions are doing it together. And so it kind of like worries us and gets confused, and also trying to get this into my dad's head, into my mom's head, that maybe they're not getting the best end of the stick, and to be active, which is hard because these are things they just expected from their union, and that they will protect them, and that now that they put all these years into the system, that they will automatically be taken care of. They just had to relax and just lay back and live their retirement. But instead they're trying to take away more and more benefits. I don't know who they're trying to save money for or who's making money off, but it's not a good thing
I
to
know I
do
got a
this to
text
people.
message today that on NBC News this afternoon. Let me see if I could pull that up. A Channel 4 News right now, the guy in charge of the capital budget literally just said that the MTA saved well over $1 billion last year. The actives got a 3.5% raise, and they take our benefits away. That's the text message that I got today. To save $1 billion, but they took
Yeah,
away your health care.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's
And
stressful.
everyone, people are just looking the other way and acting like they don't know who did that. We don't know who did that. Somebody who would do that, but somebody had to sign and agree to it. Everyone's like
Yes.
playing possum and acting like they didn't know what was happening, and they're not no responsibility. Just point the finger at each other, and
Well,
everyone blames each other. Yeah,
you have a very similar situation as we do, as in many of our unions, especially the United Federation of Teachers, there's a heavy patronage there, and that's a problem. So in transit, as well as in transit retirees, because the transit retirees is an arm of the TW 100, and they actually control that board according to the union president, that those people get paid money by the union. So they're not going to want to go against the grain, or they lose that income. And we see that in larger unions, especially like the UFT, we see that all the time. Um,
yeah, I agree.
there was a
And
comment. Say that again.
what do you have to say about that, Isidro? What was your experience
Say it again.
with the union and with the with the benefits being taken away? What do you think about that?
I don't have any idea right now. It's bad. I know it's bad for the members, but I don't have any idea what to say about that.
Yeah, because he's still trying to figure it out. It's extremely confusing, and me trying to figure out what his benefits are is even harder because he gets all these letters, and my mom gets all these letters. They get bombarded with letters, and I'm here trying to decipher, and
What
no
it
one
means.
knows. So we try to call the UFT and try to figure out what was going on, and they don't even know. They refer you to Medicare, and then you call Medicare and you're on hold for like a long time, and then you're on the phone for 45 minutes and you're trying to figure it out, and then they refer you to the insurance company. Oh, call the insurance company, they could figure it out for you. And so it's like they're bouncing people around, and in the
Hoping
end of
you'll
the
get
day,
frustrated and hang up.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, is this really efficient? And that's the
Yeah.
main thing about Medicare, is that Medicare is a lot more efficient as far as how much red tape it cuts. Is a lot less red tape than when you got to go through all these different channels to find out what you covered for, what you're not covered from. And then it's been very complex and very complicated and a
Yep.
big headache that my dad is like kind of fed up with it also. He's a little fed up with the whole thing, that they making it so hard on retired people, very hard. And they say, oh, but we'll send you an email. He says, I don't even know my email. I don't even know how to check my email. So what?
Yes.
And and they want, oh, but do you want to sign up for paperless? I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea because he gets thousands of emails. He doesn't. I don't think he reads the majority of them.
Right.
Um, but he
We
doesn't
had a
access it.
meeting this morning, and one of the gentlemen, he's in his 80s, and he said, I don't do email. I barely am on the computer. It's a struggle for me to understand all of this, and they all want you to click on something. You don't know what's real, what's not real. And he preferred not to do emails. And many of the organizations don't always send out a paper newsletter anymore because it can be quite expensive with printing and mailing expenses. So this population, you and I have had this conversation before, that this population is, when we say it's our most vulnerable population, it really truly is, because they're not as plugged in as your generation being younger. And then now you're trying to have to navigate something that's difficult and confusing, and then help a father understand that as well. And he's not plugged in either.
Yeah, and exactly. And sometimes he doesn't understand, like I'm trying to tell him, it doesn't work like that anymore. He says, go tell the unit to go help you. And I said, it doesn't work like that anymore. They expect you to do it on your own, or they don't have somebody that
Yeah.
specializes in that. They expect you to just do it on your own on the computer or do your own research. And he's like he thinks it's a whole different world than when he was working for the city. And I told him nothing stays the same, and nothing has ever stayed the same. Um, Times change, and even from when I was a child to now, things are totally different than what they used to be. Um, it's a different world, and it's a faster paced world. Everything moves fast, and you could get a lot of stuff. I remember going and getting index cards and to look up a book to be able to, to no such thing. And I would get an index card, and I would go look for a book and go look at the number on the side of the to see where the book was, and then pull it out, and then go to that page in order to do research or to look things up.
I remember.
It took a very it was very, very extremely time consuming. Now you could just go online and go on Google and just search, but now the problem is that there's no filters. You don't know if what you're reading is credible or is accurate, or
Right.
if it's the right information. So now you got to filter out too much information. Now, too much information out there. Um, so when I told my dad, he says, "Oh, I need give it to me on the paper. Get me the paper." He said, "Get me the chief, the chief." And I said, They don't sell the chief everywhere, right? It's really hard to find now." And then we realized that you could go on it electronically, and you could actually read it there.
He could actually get a
But
paper subscription mailed to the house still for the chief, just so you
yeah,
know. And
yeah,
then so actually one of our retirees just put in the chat, Linda says that was the card catalog that you're referencing for the
yeah,
books.
exactly. And so times have changed even in the last 30 years. They have changed
Yes.
drastically. So imagine the time that when my dad, from when he was a kid, he tells me that not everyone had a TV, and he went to his neighbor's house to watch TV, and they charge a small fee, and they had like when they would show movies every Friday night, and it was like a treat to be able to watch a TV.
When
Uh,
Isidro, what year did you start to work for the city of New York?
In 1970,
In 1970.
yeah,
And that was at the health and hospitals?
yes,
Bellevue, I think you told me, right?
at Bellevue Hospital, yeah.
And what year did you go over to UFT to teachers?
Because when I come back, I could not get the job back. So I started to get some college courses.
Right.
And then I like education.
yeah, so
Very
he took
good.
he took a leave of absence, but he took it for more than the time that he thought he was going to need it for. And when he
Right.
came back, they had uh, taking more time than he was supposed to, so they didn't offer him the job back. So he just decided to go back to school and get his degree and become a teacher instead.
Well, that's very
Um,
good.
yeah, yeah.
So is there anything else you want to add to this conversation before I move on to the next segment? What I really liked about your story, why I wanted you to come on, was because here you are, a father and a son. You work for a quasi-state agency, transit. Your father is the city of New York. Yet you're both going through the very same struggle of trying to protect your Medicare. He with us, with the city of New York, and you with New York City Transit, which our organization has been helping you guys with. And I found that was very interesting. And I also like the connection that that as a young man, you are trying to help your father navigate this, because a lot of these things are electronic, and that he doesn't necessarily do email. And he's just getting interest. He's just learning Zoom, and he's intrigued by YouTube. And so these are all exciting things for someone just learning them for the first time. And still, yet it's still a struggle for him. And then knowing that his benefits, a lot of this information is coming to him electronic and not on paper, And you, not only do you have your family and your full-time job, you're also having to help your dad through this very same thing, while also helping your own retirees, because you recognize, thankfully, that you are a retiree in training and that this will affect you one day. So I applaud you for that, because that's huge. It was a struggle for our group to get the attention of active workers. So I have to thank you for helping out on that front. And I know that that's not easy, and I know your union's attacking you or management's attacking you too. So I want to be respectful of that, but know that we're appreciative of that.
And I know, thank you, Marianne, for all your efforts. And even though my dad didn't know at the time, you saved his Medicare, and we really appreciate it. And New York State is the richest state in the country as far as GDP. So for us to be doing that, it's extremely ridiculous for me.
It is.
And they say that that taxing the rich is a gold mine, but they're gonna they're gonna learn that giving away retirees Medicare and a public program is a worse landmine than having to deal with the rich. I hope they
Yeah.
learn that, and they that that's what I want people to know, that I'm disgusted by all those people doing this to the elderly, and it's like seeing my dad. He doesn't walk as fast as he used to, and he's not as agile as he used to be, and me pushing him down to the ground, it wouldn't be a right thing. You will be upset and you will step in if you saw me doing that, right? So right now we
Exactly.
need to step in and stop this type of behavior from those people that have all the power and all the money. We gotta stop this behavior. We can't allow our
Well,
seniors to be pushed
we
to the ground.
we just have to educate our unions that they should be protecting the federal public health benefit of Medicare. But I also want to tell you too, and we'll start to move into the next segment. And so we usually try to wrap these up by 9. So on Monday, April 15th, for everyone that's watching, Monday, April 15th, we are planning a bus trip to Albany. The buses will leave around the city. We haven't yet planned out where they're going, but it is dependent upon how many people register to come on this trip with us and where they're coming from. So if you're interested in joining us on that Albany trip, please register on the link. We did send out an email tonight on that, Celso, I can forward that to you. Because if you're free, if you're not working on Monday, April 15th, we will be taking a bus to Albany. We have legislation that will be for all public employees for New York State to protect their benefits from being diminished. So we're trying to put that together and get a few buses of retirees to go up to Albany on that trip. And we will be going to speak to the electeds about our bill being passed. So that's Monday, April 15th. Does anyone have any questions? So I've not seen any questions in the chat. I know you guys were listening. We've been trying to do a little bit of change up with these Fridays in getting some more of the exposure on people with different situations. And we're also doing a new set of videos with Be a Hero, and we'll probably incorporate this messaging in with that. I also put up on Facebook today, I believe it was, or yesterday, asked everyone if you were in Hakeem Jeffries' district in Brooklyn, and several of you did say you were. I have reached out to one of you to make that connection, to do that meeting. I needed a single person to do a Zoom call in April, and so far I do have that person. If it falls through, I'll go back to that thread. So I did close it, but if you were one of those people that responded to that, thank you. And if I need more, I will let you know. So I'm not seeing any more questions. That's a good thing. So it is Holy Thursday. Tomorrow is Good Friday. Our page will be closed as of tonight for the weekend. So I want everyone to have a very good holiday, and our Facebook page will reopen on Monday. And I think that's about it. Celso, did you or your dad, Isidro, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I don't have any comments.
You're good.
Yeah, he's very, protective of his, you know,
That's
he's,
okay. I
yeah,
appreciate him coming on.
and for the transit retirees, we're gonna keep fighting with you, and I'm with you. And even though I'm an active worker, and hopefully everyone activates themselves and wakes up and not worry about a paycheck, but worry about doing the right thing.
Yes.
Because a paycheck will be gone tomorrow, but doing the right thing never goes away. That's my
Yep.
last message to everyone. And
Well,
the
thank you.
TWUR retirees, okay? TWUR on Facebook, join them, donate to them. Just because they're good people, and they don't deserve that. Just like none of you did, or not having the benefits that you work for so hard. And thank you for all the efforts that you put in all these years, and for your civil service to this society, and to this state, and to this city, and to this country. Thank you for your service. I salute you. That's what I
Well,
have to say. Thank you.
Well, that's the benefit of civil service, is we all knew what we were getting into, and we have a really good team trying to fight this. So thank you for also being part of that and helping your retirees, even though you're an active worker. So that I applaud you for. We have one last question. Sharina's asking, I'm going to be Medicare eligible in June, and I'm wondering if senior care will still be in effect. As far as our knowledge, yes, it will be. So for the recap, that part of the recap before we close, New York City retirees, we did have a court case on March 21st. Go back up onto our YouTube channel, and if you're on our email list, I did send those videos out tonight. I sent out 4 videos today. One of them was the court case. One of them was a transit video about out of network doing the continuity of care form. Watch that video towards the end. It's really kind of funny. We were trying to have a little bit of a fun time with that. And we also included the court video, the oral arguments, and then we did a recap afterwards. And then there's even a little video, if you're a Yankee fan, one of the judges made a comment about the Yankees and us being in the courtroom. And so we did a little research on that, and I think you might enjoy that video if you haven't seen it. So our court case, we do not know when the judges will make a decision. Typically, it's like a month or 2. So when we know, we will let you know. For the transit retirees, your oral arguments is in May. So as soon as that happens, we'll be sure to report back to you all and let you know that. But their team is working very hard to try to get all of them out of the Aetna Medicare Advantage plan, or at least give them back an option for their senior care equivalent, which was called the CPPO, and which they took away from them. So letting you know that the transit retirees argument is coming up soon. And plus, we do not have a decision for New York City. You're welcome, Sharina. So that's about it, everyone. It's almost 8:45. I want to say goodnight. Happy Easter. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Celso, and thank you, Isidro. And Celso, thank you for helping your dad. And then both of you coming on tonight. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Take care. Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.